video, let us see how to implement an SSIS package with Lookup. I have student fact notepad data, which has three columns: ID, name, student ID and student name. And the last column is location ID. It's a column name, but ideally it is holding the location dimension names. What is location dimension names? We have location dim table, which is a dimension table, which got two columns: location ID and location name. This table got location ID and location name. The student fact table will be giving us the location name: NSW, Victoria. It will be giving us a location name. We have to use the lookup feature and find out what is the location ID for these values. For NSW, location ID is 1. For Victoria, the location ID is 2. We have to read these two values and insert into our fact table. These are a fact table. Currently, we don't have any data: student ID, student name, and location ID. We have to ideally insert the dimension table primary key as a foreign key into this fact table. But the input file which we are getting from our clients will be with the dimension value. We are not storing that value because of normalization and many other reasons which we have discussed before. We have to ideally maintain the dimension table primary keys as a foreign key in our fact table. So we have to get the location ID for these two, NSW and Victoria, and load it into the student fact table. Whereas the student ID and student name is from the same student fact notepad. So let us start and put as a pipeline so you'll be understanding. I have opened the student load package which got a data flow task. In this data flow task, I am adding a flat file source. I'm naming it as student get. Right click for configuration, edit, new, student connection manager, student connection manager, browse, student fact table. I'm just loading the student fact table, which got these three columns with this data. Yes. I'm just loading it. Click OK. Click OK. Fine. I got some other things from my previous thing. I'm just deleting them. Don't be panic. Anyway, if you open the new data flow, you will not be having that. I'm working on the existing one. So I got some other connection managers. I just get rid of that. Okay, this is the student get flat file source. Now, let me add a lookup. I have to send NSW value from this notepad to location dim table to the location name column NSW. I'm telling an English sentence. From my student fact table, I have to send the NSW string to the location name column in the location dim table to get or read the location ID. This is nothing but a lookup. So we'll see how we are going to put it here. Let it be a full cache. I'm going with full cache because my data is less as a dimension table. Cancel. We have created a global connection manager previously, so I'm just using it. I'm selecting the dimension table to which we have to perform a lookup operation. Location dim. See, the LID column name has NSW Victoria. So I have to search those values in the location name. Okay, when I drag this, it says like the data types do not match. So before connecting this pipeline, I have to write a data conversion to convert the data types of the input columns: ID, name. Let me convert everything because ideally when I start pushing into database, definitely it will throw an error. So I'm just naming it as student ID, student name, and LID as I'm naming it as location name. See, ideally it's a location name, right? Okay. Student ID. Let me go back to my database. Check the student ID data type. It's an int. Student name is nvarchar. Location name is nvarchar with 50 length. So let me convert this into 4-byte signed integer. Okay, student name and location name are Unicode string WSTR. We have discussed previously like why we need to convert into these data types. It's a unique non-Unicode to Unicode conversion. Whatever string value coming from a notepad is considered as a non-Unicode value, but database considers and accepts only Unicode value. So that is the conflict between compatibility issue between these two data type mapping. So I'm converting non-Unicode to Unicode. Okay. And now pass this pipeline to lookup. Edit. Let it be full cache connection to the IBT database. Location dim. Dimension table. Now, please match this location name from the notepad to the table notepad. Table column location name column value and read the location ID. Okay. Now, OLEDB destination. I have to load it into a table, right? No, I just want to move this before I configure. That's why I said no. Please pass the matched output. Click OK. Edit. Yes. Please fast load. Please load it into the student fact table. Student ID into student ID, student name is equals to student name, location ID into location ID. Perfect. Because I updated my notepad, updated column names to the table column names. Both names are same. That's why it got auto mapped. Nothing else. Control yes, save. Let me verify whether we have any data in the student fact table. So ideally, it has to insert NSW location ID, which is 1, and Victoria location ID, which is 2. It has to insert those values. Click Start. Yeah, it has passed 2 rows. Yes. Execute again. See, we got the data. Just for readability, I'm executing both the queries parallelly. See, student ID1 Akila, where she got location name as NSW, but NSW location ID is 1. So it inserted 1. With the lookup pipeline, it got 1 and it inserted 1 in this table. For Sanya, it was 2. Victoria, that's why it got 2. So how will you write a join to get data from these two tables? Select student ID, comma, student name from student fact. Let me write a query step by step so that you will understand what we are trying to achieve. We got it, right? Let me name the student fact as SF, alias name. Left join, because I want all the data from the student fact table. Left join, location dim. I want to name it as an alias LD, okay? On SF dot location ID, because the fact table will have a dimension table column as a foreign key. LD dot location ID. It's a primary key of the location dim table. Now I have to name these columns with the aliases. I have to call with the alias names. SF dot student ID, SF dot student name, comma, location dim dot location name. This is how you write a query to come to join multiple tables, the fact table and dimension tables based on the foreign key and primary key, and get all other values. Consider if my location dim table got other 20-30 columns. I can't just maintain everything into the student fact table. I have to connect to the location dim table and get the data. Example, location state, location country, location pin code, suburb, division, area, everything, right? So it can have multiple other columns. I can join those two tables based on this and I can get the data. Ideally, everyone are interested to get the fact table details. That's why I have written left join on the student fact table. Location dim is can be considered as a static table which will have the required information to be processed along the fact table. So ideally we write student fact left join location dim. Okay. Thank you.